ticket went free. Thank you so much. So we're going to be reflecting on when will Macau and Hong Kong open up. So that was going to be the topic, and I just kind of saw that interesting one. So so we're definitely going to start it with that. And it's kind of interesting. They're just sitting there. So a lot of people are curious. So I'm in Hong Kong right now, by the way. So I'm going to walk down the street. I'll probably label it accordingly. I think it's called Russell Street. And we're going to talk about when Macau and Hong Kong will open up. Okay, so hope you enjoy another one of Hong Kong 2022, filming the streets in Hong Kong. All right, so like, subscribe, leave some comments below.
Chiquinha, chiquinha, toma cuidado da movidinha, chiquinha.
Got a big burger there, so. Okay, so let's talk about when Macau and Hong Kong will open up. We're going to be walking down Russell Street, and give you a little bit of a background about my channel. I usually just film streets in Macau and anywhere really. Originally it was going to be anywhere and everywhere, but COVID, I was stuck in Macau for the last 2.5 years. I'm an expat, I live there anyways, that's my home. I love it living there as well. And I also love coming to Hong Kong. And one of the issues with both cities is that they're both, Macau continues to be closed to foreigners indefinitely, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I would like to talk about that as well. And Hong Kong just recently opened up to foreigners, but they were closed for most of this last 2 years, 2.5 years, up until very, very recently. So a lot of people are always asking, you know, when will Macau and Hong Kong open up to foreigners again? And Hong Kong has opened up to foreigners again. They actually had a couple of provisions, so foreigners could come into Hong Kong if they'd only been in, I think it's definitely Macau and China, I believe, and maybe Taiwan as well. But otherwise, if you're a foreigner, you could not come into Hong Kong until very recently. And I believe that now you can come into a foreigner as a Hong Kong, and you cannot from Macau. And a lot of people are asking me about Macau. Let me just kind of highlight a little bit of where we are. So this is a giant shopping mall area, and train station exits out of there too, to the Causeway Bay area. And we're going to be walking directly into Causeway Bay here. But Macau, people are curious when that's going to open. I don't see it happening anytime soon, and the main reason is because there's a zero COVID policy in both cities, but Hong Kong has been ravished by COVID over the last few months, and it's kind of coming out the other side where a lot of people have already been exposed to it. Most people are vaccinated. There's these programs that you have to be vaccinated to go into restaurants, so most people are doing that to get into restaurants. And so they've basically on the backside of everything, and I think it's going to continue to be open, and I don't see it reversing anytime soon unless there's some kind of major political shift that changes that. But for a health standpoint and a purely COVID standpoint, I don't see that being, I don't see it being going any other way, but continue to open up more and more all the time. I think from the expats, I heard that, you know, sometimes the locals are a little bit irritated because if they go somewhere and come back, they have a 7-day quarantine. They don't think it makes any sense, especially if they're vaccinated, and especially even more so because a lot of people already had COVID here, and the rest of the world is opening up. So from a Hong Kong perspective, it's quite irritating that they even have the 7-day quarantine, but foreigners are able to come through, and that's no problem at all, as far as I'm aware. I don't think there's any backlash about that. But in Macau, however, it's completely closed, and so that is, let me see, this is Russell Road, and I think we're going to keep going down that way. Let me just kind of highlight this little space real quick. Oh yeah, Times Square, that's what this is called. We're going to keep up walking down. I think we're going to see if we can continue to find Russell Road, which I think is straight ahead. Okay, so I think this continues to be Russell Road. We'll see in a minute. But Macau has no COVID. They're not really that strong with the vaccinations, and nobody's had COVID, almost nobody, except for like 85 people. Let's see if this is even Russell's Road still. See, he's kind of burrowing through there. Guess he's heading over to that side. Okay. So we're gonna keep on walking down this way. I think this is still Russell's Road. No. No thanks, no. Sausage? Massage? No. So we're still on Russell Street right here. That guy's following me, which is kind of funny because I got a camera, so it's like kind of interesting if somebody follows you and you got a camera and you're filming them. But anyways, we're still on Russell's Road. I just saw the sign that said Russell's Road. There was a thing there that said Russell's Road. So we're gonna keep highlighting it. And yeah, Macau is not going to open up because there's no COVID there, and they don't want to get COVID there. And when they do, it's gonna go through all the whole cycle. So I think they're gonna keep it closed up as long as they possibly can. But that's the end of the road. Here's Tai Chu Road, which is a little bit different. So that's a different road right there, Tai Chu. And Russell's was this one right here. So to fully enter that, they will not open up. I guess I'll just walk back. So I guess they will not open up. Is that Russell's Road? Nope, that's also a different street name too. So this is the end of Russell's Road right here. So yeah, basically they won't open up because they have to go through the whole cycle. So once somebody gets into the COVID, once Macau, sorry, I got distracted by that guy again. Once Macau gets COVID, it'll have to run its course until many people get it, and then people that aren't vaccinated will have to suffer the consequences. That's natural with the disease as well. And so anyways, gotta keep on going. Guy's a mentally ill guy. Anyways, it's kind of interesting. The vibe and this energy in the spot is really weird between some of the people on the street. Anyways, that's Russell Street. We're gonna be walking, I think we'll come over this way for a moment. And there's a lot of Macau. Hong Kong is just such a cool place. Just really like it a lot. I keep saying Macau because I've been in Macau for the last 2.5 years. So that's part of Russell. It's the guy that's kind of yelling down there. You can barely see him, but anyways, that's Russell Road. Macau will not be opening up anytime soon. People keep asking me when they think it might, and I'm going to say maybe a year from now. I don't know. I think it'll be one of the last countries on the planet, probably. The way that all the policy is going, they're not really even trying to open up to foreigners at all. They don't want them. So yeah, the foreigners are unable to come back. I was talking about that with a guy last night. He knew some of the same people that I know in Macau because he's spent a lot of time there, I guess. And he's like, oh, is Niall the guy that runs the this one bar in Macau? How's he doing? And I was like, oh, he got stuck outside, so his business is running without him because the city won't let him come back because he's a foreigner. But meanwhile, we have 40,000 mainland Chinese tourists coming every day to Macau, walking around everywhere, and they have all these COVID issues. So I don't know, eventually that will come in, and then once that happens, then it'll probably change and reverse. And then hopefully, Macau locals, who have apartments, jobs, who go to university there, who are foreigners, will be able to come back home, which would be great after 2.5 years. And then later, hopefully other foreigners can come in as tourists and not just the mainland Chinese only from that are allowed into the city. So anyways, we'll end it right there. And there's Russell Road right there. That's the name of the street. Okay, so hope you enjoyed another one of Hong Kong 2022, filming the streets in Hong Kong. All right, so like, subscribe, leave some comments below.
Chiquinha, chiquinha, toma cuidado da bovidinha.